feel like this even though you guys aren't. What is it about the narcissist and the discard? They don't want you to be with anybody else, but is it actually their choice? How dare they decide what you can and can't do? But why do they do this? Why do they think that they can make you feel like this even though you guys aren't together anymore? Watch the video because I'm going to explain why. Hello and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing really well. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why the narcissist doesn't want you to move on after the discard, why they feel that actually they're the ones that get to decide whether you can move on or not, and also why. Why do they do this? Why do they feel like they have the audacity to decide this? The narcissist doesn't want you to move on simply because they believe that you still belong to them. Yes, even after the discard, they still want to know that you are reeling in pain from this, that they have hurt you, that you can't move on, that you're not going to find anybody else attractive. They don't want you to continue in your life. If this was a healthy relationship, like, you would have been able to move on, it's fine, like, you cut ties and it's okay, you're gonna move on, you're gonna find somebody else, because basically that's what happens, right? You find somebody else that's gonna make you happy because ultimately you want to be happy. But no, not a narcissist. They don't want that. They want you to stay stuck, to stay thinking about them, because they want to know that they are important in your life. Yes, even after they have gone, they want to know that you are still thinking about them, because it makes them feel good about themselves. They feel like somebody is thinking about them, that they are making an impact on somebody's life, whether that's positive or negative. This is the way that they think, and this is the problem. This is the problem with the attachment disorder. I talk about this a lot, as you know, in the videos. The attachment disorder, where they can't disconnect, where they cannot detach from you in a healthy way. They couldn't at the beginning within the relationship because they forced you or made you fall in love with them by mirroring and gaslighting you. But now they can't let go of you, and they don't want you to move on. Now, you see, even though you think that the narcissist has moved on and they're with somebody new, and they're not thinking about you, they don't spare a second thought for you, think again. They do, because this is the attachment disorder. They can't detach, remember? So they believe that you should always be theirs, or that you should be dispensable to them. So if the narcissist wants you or wants to get in contact with you, you should be contactable. If the narcissist wants to talk to you, or if the narcissist wants something from you, you should be available, because you belong to them. You're an object. And this objectification is a psychological term where somebody perceives that that person belongs to them by force, not by free will. So it's like when you have an object, when you have a mobile phone, you know, I love my mobile phone, like, because I can do a lot of things on it, you know, like I can text, I can phone, I run my business from it, my social media, you know, I can watch videos from YouTube on there, whatever, you know, like the phone does a lot of things and I love it. But I'm not in love with my phone. You see, the phone can do a lot for me. Like the supply, you can do a lot for the narcissist. That's why they want you. That's why they don't want to lose you. Think about it. If they have a lot of people that do things for them, then that's great. Like, you know, you got your life sorted. They're also giving you a lot of attention, a lot of validation. And these are the needs of the narcissist. So if that person is treated like an object, You can pick them up and drop them whenever you want because you're not connected to them. You don't have a real connection with that person. That person provides a service or provides you with something, which is how a narcissist connects or how a narcissist sees people. It's like, what can you give the narcissist? You provide value. And if you are a high value person, meaning that you give the narcissist a lot, you meet their needs, then you become a commodity to the narcissist. They need you, they want you, they're going to make sure that you don't leave. So they're going to up the gaslighting, they're going to up the mirroring so that you don't leave. Remember, they can't keep this up, so they're going to find other supply. But at that time, you're supplying the narcissist with something that they need. They're going to make sure that you don't leave. The narcissist sees people as something that they can get from them, simply because the narcissist wants their needs met. And if you can provide that to the narcissist, if you can provide these services to the narcissist, that they're going to keep you around. So this boils down ultimately to the attachment disorder. If somebody cannot connect to you in a healthy way, someone cannot connect to you and give you the longevity of a relationship, be able to open up, be vulnerable, talk about their emotions, be able to accept blame or fault when they have done something wrong, then that person is connecting to you, is opening up emotionally and psychologically and spiritually in most cases, because they want to deepen that bond that they have with you. But if you have an attachment disorder and is unable to do that, then they can't connect to themselves, but let alone they cannot connect to you. If they can't connect to you, they can't connect to themselves, which is why they see people as transactional. People mean things, people are commodities, people do things for them. And that is the only way that a narcissist sees a person, is what can you provide them with? Which is why, if you think about it, they don't want you to move on because you belong to them. They've had you, they've got you. They want to keep you on a hook or on a leash to keep you trapped, emotionally and psychologically. Which is why, you know, as survivors, we have this trauma bond. The narcissist creates this trauma bond. I don't think the narcissist really understands what a trauma bond is, although they do feel it on some level, but they don't feel it in the same way that we do, because what they are doing is they're reenacting their childhood, the way that they were treated as a child. They then now are going to repeat that behavior onto you. Remember, this was never corrected in childhood, so it's never going to be seen as wrong. So the way that they were treated as a child, like as a commodity, transactional, things that you can do for their parent or their caregivers, they're going to do that to you simply because they believe that's how relationships should be. They also can't connect. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to show you their emotions. They don't want to talk about how they are feeling because, number one, they can't connect to those feelings. They can't connect to those emotions, so they can't articulate them. So if you can't connect to your real, true, authentic inner being, they're not going to be able to do that for you. And they're going to expect you to provide that emotional black hole that they can't connect to. They're going to expect you to do that for them, meaning they want you to be their emotional punch bag, to be able to help them to self-soothe, to be able to provide them the things that they can't do for themselves. This is all external validation because they can't do it internally. It is all very dysfunctional and jumbled up in there. I mean, I don't even want to go into it, but the thing is, they don't understand it and they can't connect to it. So as you can see, when you're interacting with a narcissist, they don't get it. Like, they don't understand themselves. They expect you to understand them and be able to read their minds, be psychics. And also their mother or their father, they just want everything you to provide them with. So which is why when, you know, after the discard happens, after the narcissist moves on, is in with another person, they're still watching you. They're still looking at what you're doing because they don't want you to move on. They don't want you to do better than them. This is something that's very difficult for them to kind of understand, very difficult for them to come to terms with. Even, like, honestly, even though they're with somebody else, they are still watching you, still wanting to know what you're doing, because you remain a fascination to them. If they're doing it to you, they're going to be doing to their other exes as well. So make no mistake that you're not the special one. They don't have a special one. They have a special few. So they're going to be watching these exes of theirs just to see what's going on, how they are getting on. And if they find that they can get in contact with this ex, and this ex can provide them with the validation and the emotional kind of attention that they need, they're on it. They are straight there. They are going to make sure that that supply is able to give them what it is that they want. So when you move on, the narcissist knows that they're not going to be able to get that. So this for them becomes quite frightening. They are like, oh my God, I'm losing supply all over again. So they're going to try and get you to not move on. They might try and sabotage this kind of new connection that you have going on with someone. They might try and do it, you know, like through children, through friends, whatever it is, they'll try and perhaps kind of influence it in some way. So be aware, or be careful who you're telling and what you're sharing on social media, so that the narcissist doesn't find out or doesn't know that actually you're moving on. You need to be able to protect yourself and put boundaries in place so that this, you know, new connection isn't affected. The narcissist also doesn't want you to move on because you're not going to be easily contactable. If you've got no contact, then of course there's, you know, that's a no-brainer. That nothing's going to come of it. But if you still have to keep in contact with the narcissist, then perhaps maybe again, just maybe don't share so much information, because they'll try and make you doubt yourself. Remember, they know your triggers. They might even try, like I said, they might sabotage it. They might put ideas or things in your head, or that your new partner that they might, you know, they might know, so they might try and influence in some way. There's all sorts of possibilities. I mean, it's all possible. But what I'm saying is try and protect yourself. They don't want to lose you because you have provided them with good supply, with attention, validation. This is all the things that they want. This is all the things that they need. So you have to be able to protect that. They don't want you to move on because in their mind, they still believe that you belong to them. So guys, I really hope that this video helps to kind of make you understand